you remember the 3D version, the lateral ventricle goes quite deep and is kind of like a sheep's horn in the brain. Okay, so especially once you're done with your dissection, you can really investigate that. There's a little, part of the ventricle that separates the right and left ventricle is the septum pellucidum. Okay, and I've just torn that away, but that just separates the right and left ventricle. Okay, and then we need to talk about the third ventricle, which is right here, right above the diencephalon, which is this round white fibrous tissue, this structure here. So here's your third ventricle. Here we can see some more of the choroid plexus. So it's producing the cerebrospinal fluid. Okay, and then the cerebrospinal fluid is going to travel from the third ventricle around the diencephalon, okay, through the cerebral aqueduct, which is right here, okay, to the fourth ventricle, which is right here, right next to the cerebellum, and then that cerebrospinal fluid would either decide to travel around the brain or head down the spinal cord through the central canal, which if you make a really nice mid-sagittal cut, you would see that right here. So, very good. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the cerebrum a little bit more. So here's the main part of our cerebrum. Then we have the cingulate gyrus is right above the corpus callosum. So here's the corpus callosum. Okay, then the ventricle here. So it helps to form that roof for the ventricle. The cingulate gyrus is part of the limbic system, if you remember. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and talk about the diencephalon, which is right here. So think anything that says thalamus. So we have the epithalamus, which is just the kind of the superior aspect of that nice round structure. Okay, and then here is part of the pineal gland, which secretes melatonin. And then just in the middle here, that's the thalamus. Think of that as sensory relay. Then right below that is the hypothalamus. Okay, and let's see if we can get. Yeah, so the hypothalamus is right here, and then we have a nice little passageway for communication and for secretion of hormones called the infundibulum that travels to this pituitary gland, which you can see again is right here. And remember that sits in the sella turcica. All right, so we have the diencephalon. Okay, remember the mesencephalon is that midbrain. That's this structure right here. Okay, mesencephalon, metencephalon, also known as the pons, and then diencephalon, also known as the medulla oblongata. Okay, then we're going to visit a little bit about the cerebellum, which is this structure right here, and then there's these little white fiber tracts, and they're called arbor vitae, or the translation is the tree of life. Okay, so they're really beautiful, actually. All right, so if I think of any more, I'll go ahead and let you guys know. But I think that's good for today. So thank you very much.